So, lads, Caitlin Clark playing one of the three best games of her career against the undefeated New York Liberty. You can't even, like, has basically broken. It has broken the Caitlin Clark haters. So, Caitlin Clark had played the best first half I've seen from a player in 2 years. And I've watched a lot of games. I watched Fee earlier today, which was up there with the best halves. I watched Paige a few days ago. Paige had 22 in the first half. She was incredible. So I watched all these players. I watched the most of the big games last year. I watched when Aja had 40-something against Dallas, although somehow they lost when she had 41 against Dallas. But today, we saw Caitlin have an unbelievable half. And a decent second half, in my opinion. Look, 6 assists. 6 assists, again, did turn the ball over a little bit, which wasn't the greatest half, but 7.6 assists, 4 boards is not a bad half. Like, that's 14-12 if she was on for that for the whole time. That's actually, that's not bad at all, to be honest. That's really not bad at all. But, it has broken the Caitlin Clark haters. So during that half, all they were talking about was, late in the game, Caitlin Clark had 25 in the first half. She would hit 6 threes. I think it was up there. I think it was one of the most in a half in WNBA history. And Natasha Howard, Caitlin Clark is wide open, and Natasha Howard looks at her and chooses her own number. And by the way, Natasha Howard in the for the entire game was minus 15. She was 1 of 4 from the field, albeit she did score in that possession. It's the only possession she scored on the entire game. She looked off Caitlin. And Caitlin just threw her arms up. Is it what you want to see from a player? Of course not. But at the end of the day, it happens. It happens. And if you've ever played basketball, and I mean this, if you have ever played the sport of basketball, and you play on a team with a shot chucker, you know how annoying it can be. And yeah, would it be better if she didn't throw her hands up, this guy? Sure. But she got back on defense after the score. So I don't really care. Kobe, Luka, I don't watch enough Shea. Kobe, Luka, Jokic, LeBron, Jordan, every single one of them have done the same thing on the floor, so I don't care. But all they were talking about at halftime, viral tweets being like, Caitlin Clark is a disgrace, her body language, and it's like, man, she just dropped 25 points. You just hate Caitlin. And I'm looking, WNBA threads is even hilarious. I'm just going to say I hate Caitlin Clark, no way around it. She makes me the F sick. You will not convince me the WNBA is not scripted. I'm 100% certain now. And this is apparently scripted for Caitlin Clark. They put the magnets on the basket, apparently. They put the magnets on the basket. Like, that's all I'm going to say. The magnets on the basket. Like, this is like, these Caitlin Clark haters are unhinged. They're unhinged. Like, that is the only way I can describe it. Like, they are absolutely unhinged. So, yeah, like, there are other ones right here. So we're bringing in a bunch of them. I'm blocking the names because I don't even have threads. And let's be real, you guys probably don't have threads either, so it doesn't really matter. Fever games have to be the most effing unpleasant watching experience, and they're most people's impressions with the W. Libs take their first out. Media will go on with the Fever and CC for days, and then we'll be right back to regular scheduled programming. We were missing 2 starters. Their starter went off. It is what it is. It's a bigger picture, man. I don't even mind this tweet. They were missing 2 starters. They still had their most important player. The player who wears the black and white short sleeve top. So Sabrina Ionescu hits 1 deep 3. Sabrina hits 1 deep 3. And by the way, these people hated Sabrina. Let's never forget what some of these people, I'm not talking about these people specifically, which is, again, I'm not putting words in their mouth because which is the reason why I'm blocking their names and their profile pictures. But let's be real. A certain journalist said the same. There's a certain journalist who works for a company that I'm not going to name because it could maybe be tracked down to them, who is basically all they do is anti-Caitlin Clark. They don't know the first thing about the sport of basketball. They're just anti-Caitlin Clark. But it is like this guy was anti-Sabrina before Caitlin Clark. And people don't realize until April the 1st, 2023, most of these people were anti-Paige as well. It was just when they have a new villain a new person to try bully. They were bullying Paige on social media. They tried to bully Sabrina off, and then they doing the same to Caitlin. I guess Sabrina's 3 from deep wasn't impressive. No, it was impressive. If she had 5 of them, it would be even more. So I become a conspiracy theorist and says Kathy's paid off the Liberty to let the Fever hand them their first loss because this can't be real life. Yeah, they put the magnets on the basket. And then the good old, never forget the good old tweets. And by the way, again, let's never forget there is a credentialed journalist who is in fact on speaking terms with an owner, a part owner, Swoops, and all these people who only refers to is it the corn? Something corn about Caitlin Clark. But the Liberty let that corn muffin take another uncontested shot. I'm going to have to start stress eating. Paige had a 35-point game, so you knew Edgar was going to come in with a purpose. I was prepared for this. And yeah, this is not I don't know why I blocked this tweet. This is actually the thing. Yeah, Caitlin Clark came with a purpose. Just like Paige came back from injury and came in with a purpose. But like there are so many anti-Caitlin Clark things. There's literally a 10,000 like tweet and it's going on. And this was, by the way, Caitlin Clark had a 25-point first half, and it is her literally just getting pissed off at Natasha Howard. And I just like, it's a really, really interesting thing. But, like, yeah, it's just, these people are nuts. These people are nuts. This whole thing is nuts. But yeah, it's a, like, social media around Caitlin Clark. And it's funny. I mean this when I say this. One of the good things about all of this is that, you know, those people that are like, we don't hate Caitlin, we just hate her fans. No, they hate Caitlin. And it's fine. You don't have to like a person. You don't have to like a player. But it's clear that they don't like basketball. I would have said the same thing if people were calling out Paige. If people were out there calling out Paige Bueckers for apparently sucking in the game she had 35. Or they were looking for a reason to hate Paige Bueckers. But there are literally tweets where I'm like, you've got a journalist posting laughing faces about this. You have got a page that is like a media about another team out there tweeting about how bad Caitlin's body language is. I'm not going to even give them the benefit of the doubt because, again, these people don't like basketball. When Caitlin Clark has just had a 25-point half. No mention of her having the best half, but just about the body language. Imagine what they would have said to Kobe. Imagine what they would have said to Shaq when he was giving out to Kobe about not getting the ball. Imagine what they would have said to Michael Jordan. Imagine if Bill Cartwright called his own number and didn't give the ball to Michael Jordan. Like, we still hear about the stuff with when Jeremy Lin hit the game winner. Kobe, like, nearly killed the guy. And, like, that, unfortunately, like, we all want this, we all talk about this Mamba mentality. We want players to have this killer mentality. And there's one player in the W, there's not one player. There's a lot of there's multiple players in the W who have a killer mentality. But there's one guard more than anyone has a killer mentality. You better believe Diana Taurasi would have done the same thing. And you want to know what the funny thing about this is that their favorite player runs back on defense less often than Caitlin Clark does, even when she throws her hands to the ceiling. Their favorite player does it more than Caitlin Clark does. We all know who their favorite player is. Their favorite player, how many times their favorite player bricks a layup, doesn't run back on defense, and their player trails. But yeah, it is what it is. Caitlin Clark haters, you're proving one thing. And you know what? At least you're honest now. At least you're honest. It's no longer we don't hate her, we hate her fans. No, you hate her. You hate her, and it's not even for basketball reasons. Not even for basketball reasons. Like, you might as well just call her, like, again, we had journalists getting credentials who have called her a white teenage boy and uses the privileges that have come with that. And then again, we've got a credentialed journalist call her, I can't remember what it was. We got another credentialed journalist responding positively to someone posted a tweet about and said the name white bread, and another person and a credentialed journalist responded to it, assuming that white bread meant Caitlin Clark. Like, nothing more than that. And yeah, it's hilarious. It is just all around hilarious. But yeah, the Caitlin Clark haters did not have a good day today, did they at all? Anyway, I'll see you guys.